in this country were greater in number than currently presumed, and second, to claim that under the Modi regime they were being denied their due, and that more importantly, they were not even being counted. From the word go, it became clear that aside from championing his own party's commitment to the cause of the backward classes by daring to carry out a survey so as to ensure equitable distribution of state resources, Rahul Gandhi was going to make it a point to get under the Prime Minister's skin, and he made a couple of jibes at the Prime Minister. In fact, one of them was personal from the moment the Prime Minister came and sat in the House. Viewers, Rahul Gandhi said, quote, "We have done a caste census in Telangana, and what we have found is shocking. Almost 90% of Telangana is either Dalit, Adivasi or OBC. I am convinced that is the story across the country. I am convinced that the OBC population is not less than 50%. At the center of any new development paradigm for this country, which runs parallel with the production paradigm, is the participation of lower class OBCs, Dalits, Adivasis in the wealth of this country. If we look at the largest corporates in the country, none of them are owned by OBCs, Dalits or tribes. The architecture of a new developmental paradigm can only be built once the caste census in place on the table. There are OBC, Dalit and Adivasi MPs in the BJP, he went on to add, and he then turned to the Prime Minister and said, remember, you have 50% of the population and you have absolutely no power. I know you are sitting there and you can't even open your mouths. That is the country, that is the truth of the country, unquote. Listen in, viewers.
There are OBC MPs in the BJP. There are OBC MPs in the BJP. There are Dalit MPs in the BJP. There are Adivasi MPs in the BJP. Remember, you are OBCs, you have 50% of the population and you have absolutely no power. I know that you're sitting there and you cannot even open your mouth. That is the truth of the country.
The BJP didn't waste a moment to expose the contradictions they claim between Rahul Gandhi's words and the reality of his politics. Listen in, viewers.
Participation revolution in this country that we are going to bring.
ये अंधेरा हो गया है पार्लियामेंट में ये कुछ दिखता नहीं है सोनिया गांधी प्रियंका ये तो अपोजिशन को कुछ दिखाई नहीं देता है ओबीसी
Now viewers, for those who may not be aware, the Telangana Caste Census claims that about 17.43% of all Telanganians are scheduled castes. Scheduled tribes are about 10.45%. The backward classes, excluding Muslims, are 46.25%. Backward classes Muslims are about 10%. If you put that all together, viewers, it comes to about 80-odd%. Open category Muslims are 2.48%, viewers. If Rahul Gandhi truly wants to walk the talk, then he will have to bridge the gap between his words and the reality within his own party and state government. Because as of now, it appears, viewers, that Rahul Gandhi is playing this caste card because he has realized that till the BJP is carrying the overarching Hindu vote, it's going to be difficult for him to win an election. And viewers, the BJP adds by saying that this is classic divide and rule, that his own ancestors, that his own predecessors have opposed caste census or even the continuity of caste. Those are of course arguable points, viewers, but if backward classes are indeed around 90%, will Rahul Gandhi begin by replacing Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy, who is one among 7 ministers from forward classes in the 12-member Telangana cabinet? And viewers, as always, I bring you the hard facts. So the survey shows in Telangana that backward classes are about 90%. But then viewers, significant changes will have to be wrought within the cabinet to begin with in Telangana of the Congress party. Rahul talks about the largest corporates in the country. None of them are owned by OBCs and Dalits or tribes, but fails to explain why the Congress is commandeered by the Gandhis, who are self-proclaimed Brahmins. There's also no clarity on what basis Rahul Gandhi is promising to exceed the 50% quota cap when the SC, the Supreme Court that is, forbids it, viewers. Let me just break this down for you. What do we know? That the fact check, viewers, that the facts check this caste raga, this caste quota raga, excuse the pun, that Rahul Gandhi has been reciting in Parliament. As I told you, 12 ministers in the Telangana cabinet, CM among 7 forward caste ministers. So you can already see that the forward castes hold up to about 60% of all berths in the cabinet, viewers. That will have to significantly be reduced to 1 or 2. Either the chief minister has to retain it and the rest of these ministers have to forego them. Can Rahul Gandhi do that without upsetting the entire equation and risking backlash? 2 backward caste ministers there are only, 2 scheduled caste ministers and 1 scheduled tribe minister. These numbers will have to almost reverse. They'll have to be 10 between all of them. Now viewers, it's very interesting because the backward classes representation in the CWC is also a bit inadequate. Numbers have been put out, but they amalgamate Muslim and women presence in the CWC. So on the back of that, the Congress says, no, we're doing well. We have more than 50% of backwards even in the CWC, which is the Congress Working Committee, which is the highest apex body, really, viewers. And it is headed by Kharge, who is the president of the party, and also, of course, there's Sonia Gandhi. And as you know, viewers, de facto nothing moves in the Congress without the Gandhis' approval. Karnataka caste survey is still under wraps. Gandhi will have to explain why that is the case. Gandhi Brahmin background inconsistent with Jitni Abadi Utna Hak Cry. He says that corporates, companies, etc. at their apex have no Dalits, etc. Well, neither does the Congress. Many people say that is the biggest firm, private company in this country. No legal clarity on Rahul vow to exceed SC 50% quota cap. This is a very, very important debate because with this Telangana caste survey, Rahul Gandhi is now back in the caste game. He will say, look, I have done the survey. The BJP now must follow suit and do their survey and then distribute the resources of the state accordingly. There will be pressure on the BJP. Now, I want to open this up and I want to begin first with Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst. We also have Sumansi Raman, Dr. Raman. But let me first come to you, Mr. Poonawalla. This, the BJP says, is classic divide and rule, walk the talk. This is born out of desperation to split an increasingly unifying Hindu vote ever since Yogi Adityanath and the Prime Minister talked about ek hai, safe hai. The Congress lost 4 polls on the trot, or 3 polls on the trot. And now Rahul Gandhi is worried. So he's expedited this survey. Of course, the one in Karnataka remains buried because that's very tricky. The Lingayats and the Vokaliggas aren't interested in giving up their claims. So very conveniently that's been put into the mothballs. Here you are playing a little bit of a game. And this is all virtue signaling. You haven't backed it by intent. I'm asking you, given this survey, given the findings, should Revanth Reddy continue to be Chief Minister, Mr. Poonawalla?
Good evening, Rahul. Thank you so much for having me in the show. There are 3 or 4 aspects that you've raised. Let me answer each one of them individually. One, that yes, Telangana has just been released on Saturday. Once you go through those surveys, because as Rahul ji spoke in Parliament, that there are startling numbers in those surveys. Why just in those surveys? The Congress-led RJD and JDU survey in Bihar have also led startling numbers where there are a lot of poor Brahmins, for example, in Bihar. So those will have to be implemented, and the Telangana government, since it's only been 2 or 3 days, will implement it. That's the promise of Rahul Gandhi ji. Your second question, the CWC may not have numbers exactly to what the OBC category is. However, they cross the 50% when it comes to the poor, the backward, the minorities, and that is the Congress's commitment. From 80%, for those who weren't there to now more than 50%, and obviously they will come to it. So it has to be a process, and the Congress has walked the talk. It's done its caste surveys. What's stopping the BJP from 2011, when the UPA was in power, and the BJP said, look, after 2014, release this caste census. Arun Jaitley ji said this on the floor of the House. Rajnath Singh ji, BJP president, said this on the floor of the House. Post the BJP coming to government, Arun Jaitley ji, Rajnath Singh ji, and even Amit Shah ji have repeatedly said that this caste census will be released. The data, the errors have gone. The caste census is with the BJP. Why aren't they releasing the caste census of the Congress? Now, if done by the Congress government in 2011. Now, if this was a shadyantra, as you put it, to divide the Hindu vote, is what Arun Jaitley ji, Rajnath Singh ji, and even Amit Shah ji saying that we are doing the caste census, we will release it, also a shadyantra to divide the Hindu vote? Are they also dividing it? The fact of the matter is, Rahul, you cannot reach the poorest of the poor until you do a caste census. The caste survey, as you know, is limited because states don't have the constitutional right to do a census. That only the union government can do. So why doesn't the BJP, instead of attacking Rahul ji, put its money where its mouth is and do a caste census? Okay. Leave everything aside, prove Rahul Gandhi wrong, do a caste census. One last thing, just one last thing, and I will end there. The BJP, in its entire history, has had only one Dalit president. It's had no Dalit OBC president except one, and he was treated very badly, Bangaru Lakshman. The RSS has never had the Dalit OBC president. Never in the future will the RSS have it. The BJP as an organization will never allow them to come forward. And we're not talking about the Prime Minister and the Cabinet.
One second. Let me bring in the BJP. I just want to put it on record, viewers, that Tehseen Poonawalla didn't answer 3 basic questions I asked him. Should Revant Reddy immediately quit now, step down? Should some of his cabinet colleagues who are from the forward caste also step down? The CWC is very evasive. He says, no, we are coming to it. Viewers, it's not Modi or Rajnath Singh or Amit Shah who have been banging on and on about the caste census for 5 years. It is Rahul Gandhi who has been doing it. How is it that the CVC has still not been reformed to reflect his concern for these backward classes? One can't understand. And thirdly, I asked him simply this, and I framed it also, viewers, in the introduction, about the CWC. Apart from that, Rahul Gandhi constantly questions the media owners, saying that none of them are Dalits or OBCs, that no corporates are owned by Dalits, tribals or OBCs, but he doesn't tell us how is it that the entire Brahmin clan of the Gandhis is sitting at the apex of the Congress and manages and are the CEOs and the MDs of the Congress. That's no response. We got no response. Why is the family still there? I don't understand. Directing everything from the back. Are they so patronizing as to think that OBCs cannot be trusted? Do they think OBCs are not capable? That they need to be almost fostering them? Viewers, these are questions that we weren't given answers to. So obviously the charge of hypocrisy still remains pretty applicable. But Shazia Elmi wants to get in and respond to Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla. Shazia Elmi, point by point.
Yes.
He's saying, where is your caste census?
Yep. So, okay, I want to start off, I mean, it's not a surprise really, because we all know what Congress party did to B.R. Ambedkar and how it ensured that Ambedkar loses, not once but twice. We all know what they did to Jagjeevan Ram and made sure that he never becomes so popular and is given the high seat because he would never be unseated. We all know what Congress party did to Sitaram Kesri and how badly he was treated by the party. So we know all of that. Now, you just mentioned CWC. I will mention NAC, the National Advisory Council, which was the real cabinet running Manmohan Singh government. Please find out how many Dalits and OBCs and members of scheduled tribes and scheduled castes are there. Now, let's forget about even the past. Let's not even go into Mandal Commission, which was put under the report, which was kept on the back burner for 10 years. Let's not even talk about Indira Gandhi, na jaat padna paat par, mohar lagegi haath par. Let's not even go to Jawaharlal Nehru, who said that in getting Dalits and SCs, STs into power or into representation would ensure mediocrity. And we don't want a government of fools. We don't want a bureaucracy of fools. That's what he said. But let's not even go there. Let's just go just further. Today's what I think is the 3rd of February.
Yes.
15th of January, Karnataka state. And of course, I want to mention your brilliant tweet because Rahul, what you talked about Telangana, 7 out of 12 forward caste, really shameful. And this is coming from Rahul Gandhi, who cites the example of Telangana. But I will move away because Telangana has been, I mean, you have crunched it and you've spelled it out and it's there on your Twitter line, you know, Rahul Shivshankar, I can see that. And you mentioned it too. But Karnataka, now 2015, caste census, done by Congress party, 160 crores spent. So imagine 10 years back, they don't table the report. This year, from 23rd of October, they've been planning to table the old report. But guess what? DK Shivkumar doesn't want it. Many Vokaliga and Lingayat leaders of the party don't want it. So they postpone again. Imagine all that matter comes to the fore this year and last year. And then they decide, no, we cannot do it. Let's adjourn it further. And Rahul Gandhi has no idea of his party's history, of this country's history, what's happening in his own governments.
Okay.
In Karnataka, in Telangana, makes a hue and a cry. So I think it's fairly hilarious. And I don't think Rahul Gandhi should be taken too seriously. There's another very important point. Rahul, if you can indulge me, it's very important. Do you remember, dismantling of Hindutva, that whole thing that was planned in Chicago and different capitals, state capitals in the US?
Yes.
And you know, Christopher Jaffreley was part of it.
Yes.
Can I tell you, before 21, before COVID, but Rahul Gandhi never talked about caste. And it was then this whole idea came and Christopher Jaffreley started and everybody started talking about how do you dismantle, and that's how the idea of caste census comes into the picture. Because how do you handle this?
Okay.
How do you handle a community getting together?
Okay.
So you break it.
There's a pathology.
You break it.
She
and
says
you
there's
can,
a
you
problem.
can check. You can
Okay,
yes.
one second. Let me bring in first Abhijit Iyer Mitra.
Safe rahenge.
Okay, safe rahenge is the big problem. Rahul Gandhi sees this as a big problem to Congress politics. Let me bring in Iyer Mitra. One second. Gentlemen, everybody, calm down. Let me just bring in Iyer Mitra, then Dr. Sumant Raman, and of course Ishkan Bhandari, who has to clarify a very important legal point. But Mr. Iyer Mitra, what do you make today of Rahul Gandhi's invocation of this Telangana census, turning to the Prime Minister and says, "Aap apna muh chupa rahe ho," and so forth, and all the BJP, OBC and SC and ST MPs have no power, that they know that they have been completely at some level or the other been cheated of their due, etc. So what do you make of this? Where is it coming from? What is the end?
Look, you made it very clear, Rahul, right at the beginning, that the Hindus in this country are consolidating and he wants to break Hindu consolidation. It's clear as night and day. But you know, this is the problem out here. He's talking about the caste survey in Telangana, but what is he going to do with the caste survey in Telangana? Is he going to implement it? Is he going to implement it across every educational institution and hiring out there? Second, how will the caste play if your religion isn't Hindu? All of these are things he will not get into. He does not want to get into the nitty-gritty, because the moment he gets into that, it will affect his own voter base out there. Which is why all it really is a slogan. He wants the survey done. And if you went into the rest of the cluelessness of his speech in Parliament today, AI, look, the man, I mean, you saw during the Bharat Jodo Yatra, or rather Bharat Todo Yatra, the gentleman had no idea what blockchain was, what crypto was. Now he's showing he has no idea what AI is. What can AI do with a survey? An AI has to be trained to read a survey. You have to train up the AI for it to produce results. AI is not some pre-made thing that you just throw at it. Like, you know, you go ask a computer, you bring up the C prompt, Rahul, and ask the C prompt, what is your name? Is it going to reply? It is going to give you syntax error or something like that. You have to program it in C language to say, DOS, to say, you know, my name is computer or something like that. It is only then that it comes out. This gentleman who's meant to be the youth icon of India, I mean, imagine a youth icon at 56 years of age. I don't dare call myself a youth, even though I'm 10 years junior to him. But anyway, youth icon, Mr. Youth Icon here, doesn't even know how to program a computer. He doesn't even know how AI works, but he wants to talk about AI applied to caste. Forget the AI. Just implement it in Telangana. Announce you're implementing the survey in Telangana. फिर दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो जाएगा.
So let's that's a very good point, Dr. Raman. Let's for a moment give Rahul Gandhi 100 or maybe even 110 out of 100 for producing this caste census. So I want to ask you, how will this translate on the ground in Telangana? Will Mr. Reddy have to sort of step aside? Will some of these cabinet ministers have to make way? This vision for a caste census lacks specific details, leaving all his objectives unclear, whether it's about quotas, resource distribution, or representation in decision-making roles. What is it exactly? What are we supposed to take away? Or do we have to wait for AI to deep analyze it and then come up with some formula? I mean, what is going on here? Is he pulling the wool? And why isn't he then bringing it in Karnataka? And what about Himachal?
Okay, Rahul, I hope you'll give me a minute to sort of explain this whole thing.
Time. No problem.
As far as AI is concerned, Rahul Gandhi is absolutely right. You need every single state government has some level of caste data which is available within them. Some of them may be 10 years old, some of them may be 15 years old, some of them may not even be accurate as far as today's statistics are concerned. But data in substantial quantities is already available. So we are not talking of, you know, where is the training data going to come from? There is enough and more data which is already available. So as a concept, what Rahul Gandhi said is absolutely right.
No, if there was, hang on, Dr. Raman, if there was data, why are being asked then? Why are we all being asked to spend lakhs and crores on a caste census?
That is because, first of all, there is a concept of a regular census which has been halted in this country. Right. So that itself is not done. Why has it not been done from 2020?
Because in 21, sir, there was COVID, and now the movement has been. Well, it's happened. It's been the notification is going on. Notification is going on.
4 years later.
Okay.
1 minute. One second, Rahul. Let me make this very clear point.
Make it.
This is an NDA government which is aptly sort of using the abbreviations there. No data available. So if you want to give any kind of affirmative action, it needs to be based on data.
Fair enough. So what is he going to do with this data? That's the question, the central question. There are people.
I don't want to look at the data.
No, but Dr. Raman, there are people tuning in right now from Telangana. They want to know, what is Rahul Gandhi going to do with this data? Is he going to indulge in resource distribution? Is he going to take from the rich and give to the poor? Number one. Is it about quotas? Is he going to expand quotas, shrink them for X and Y, expand them from W? Is he going to make representation in government, in his party, in his cabinet? How is he going to do it? What is he going to do?
Telangana already has a Dalit Deputy Chief Minister. I do not know whether you are aware of it.
We are all aware of it, sir.
They have a Dalit Deputy Chief Minister.
Why shouldn't there be a Dalit Chief Minister?
1 second.
90% are backwards.
Why? What about Charanjit Channi in Punjab when he wasn't?
No, so I'm asking you, what about Telangana? Is Revant Reddy going to go then? Should he go?
Former Chief Minister.
So then if there is a precedence, should Revant Reddy be... No, so I'm asking you, if there is precedence, sir.
Why is this logic that only if the Chief Minister is replaced immediately...
I'll tell you why. Because today there was a Kerala MP who was attacked. No, hang on. I'll tell you why. Because today there was a Kerala MP, Gopi. You know him? Mr. Gopi Suresh. Yes. Yeah. So what happened? He said that, look, it would be a travesty. Why can't we ever have, and these are his views, not mine, I don't subscribe, whatever. I put the caveat, I'm just giving you his views. He says, well, why can't there ever be the head of the OBC or Backwards Commission? Why can't he be from a person, or she be person from an upper caste? Yeah. And everyone went after him saying it's so politically incorrect. If it's so politically incorrect, why is Revant Reddy a forward caste, the Chief Minister of Telangana, sir? If it's politically incorrect.
Let me tell you what multiple backward class commissions that have been
appointed. Sir, answer this question. I'm giving you I'm giving you now a straight analogous.
Maybe.
I'm asking you, if Gopi Suresh can be attacked for the so-called mistake he made.
1 second, very simple, Rahul. The logic is extremely clear. If there was a leader who enjoyed the confidence of the majority of the MLAs, Revant Reddy happened to lead the party to victory.
So
Revant
you're
Reddy
saying
was
that
one
where
of
it
the
matters,
reasons why-
you're going to have
Not at
Brahmins
all.
and forward castes.
He is-
In the
he is
Congress,
deputy.
because the owner of the
Even-
Congress must be a Brahmin, everyone
There-
else, of course, must
there is-
change their
no,
corporate structures
not
to
at
put
all.
Dalits,
Not at
etc.
all.
Everyone else is bad. The Congress party is right, the Gandhis are right. Is that what you're saying?
Not at all. Not at all.
Because
All
that's
I'm
what it
saying
appears
is,
like.
First of all, this opposing saying that we do not want data at all.
No,
to
I'm
make
not talking
decisions.
about that, sir. And
That's
neither
it.
is the BJP.
Caste census.
The BJP,
No, no,
you heard Shazia Ilmi
Rahul-
from
Rahul
Mr.
Gandhi,
Jaitley.
Why aren't they doing it?
No,
Why
okay,
aren't they
wait,
doing
wait,
it?
wait. Now,
Why
viewers,
aren't they walking the talk?
okay, let me bring in Ishkan Bhandari.
What- if-
Ishkan Bhandari
Why
is
don't
a
you
very
do
good,
Karnataka?
is a
What
very
stopped
good
you
buster
in Karnataka?
of, one second, of hypocrisy. So, Ishkan Bhandari, listen to this, lawyerly argument. Okay, I asked a simple question. I said, Suresh Gopi is being attacked these days for making a statement that why is it that in these particular commissions, backward commissions, etc., we can't have an upper caste person. So everyone said, obviously, what kind of a person are you? You are a casteist, you are an oppressor, you are in favor of Brahminical patriarchy and so on and so forth, you must go. We must remove you. When I asked the same question, that, listen, why is a forward caste going to be chief minister of a state where there are 90% backward classes? I am told that you can't compare apples with oranges. I don't know, I'm comparing apples with apples here now. Now, one. Two,
Absolutely.
most importantly, Mr. Bhandari, which is an important case, then the reason I'm asking for specifics is because there is a Supreme Court judgment. You know it better than I do. 50% cap. Explain. How does this work?
Rahul, it is not to be seen only from the lens of law. I will come to that because there is a larger problem here.
Yeah.
Ideas of one is Bharat and then the idea of India union, which can be disembodied. So what you do, and you see this playing out in politics, divide north versus south, east versus west, and we have seen the rhetoric. Divide Hinduism into various caste groups because the only group which should be united is the one community which will vote for you en masse. Then, even worse, divide Bharat into different languages. AI, if it has to be applied, nowadays language is not a barrier. Instant translation happens, instant subtitles happen. People are loving movies made in the southern part of India, which are becoming a bigger hit than Bollywood. But instead of that, appreciating that, you are trying to create language divide. So on everything you want to create a divide, and this is nothing in furtherance of that. Now let's come into the micro of it. Micro is, where is the political power? It is with the Nehru Gandhi Parivar even today. Forget OBC Dalit. Is it even divided into any other caste, even a general caste? When you talk about dividing the resources, there was a time when Mrs. Sonia Gandhi had one huge house bigger than the Prime Minister's house. Mr. Rahul Gandhi had another house. Mrs. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra had another third house without even being an MP at that time. Was that an appropriate division of resources? Why did you not talk about it then? Or when you talk about all the assets and all the facilities they have, even companies like Young India, if you see the caste composition of how they took over National Herald and what is the caste composition of people who are in Young India, you will be surprised and you will be having to search to find a Dalit or OBC. So that is all the problem. Now when we come to the law is very clear. It has been settled. You cannot take it to an extent. You destroy all opportunities for anybody except the prism you want to promote. And those judgments have stood the test of time. But the only reason is not because you have a legal solution or you have a plan. The only appeal seems to be, जिसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं रहता फैला दो, सरकार को संभालना है, उस फैले हुए रहते में हमारा कुछ benefit हो जाएगा, because they have no plan.
Okay, so very quickly, I don't have much time. I need to move on to another debate. Tehseen Poonawalla, can a forward caste be a chief minister of Telangana under the present circumstances after this survey has been conducted? One. Two, please answer this question. Can Gandhis who call themselves Brahmins be the head of the biggest corporation, Young India, for example, as Ishkan Bhandari has said, and also by extension, the Congress party in a certain paradigm? Just these two questions, please answer yes or no, or would they be hypocritical?
Join the party and contest
I
against
got
them
no
and throw them
answers
out.
to when the BJP would do the caste census.
There you go.
I've got a wrong answer that the 50% cannot be extended. Please, I will answer it. A lot has been said, including about Priyanka ji. I don't have the time to counter it because I won't get that time. So please allow me. Priyanka ji was an SPG protectee. Number of times she said to take away the house. That's why she got the house. Her father was martyred, blown away to pieces, smithered. But let me come to the point that I want to reach. The president of the Congress party is a Dalit, Kharge ji. The Congress has had multiple Dalit presidents. The RSS has had none. The BJP has had one who was ill-treated. The question is, can the BJP bring around the reforms? The question is not on the Gandhis. Curse the Gandhis as much as you want, you're free to do that.
Yeah.
Answer the question, when is the caste
constantly
census coming?
kicking
That's
the
all I'm
ball. No,
asking.
kicking the ball in someone else's court, not leading by example, and that's the reason why, viewers, the Congress finds itself in the position that it has and being rejected by the voters. They brought this entire bogey up before the Lok Sabha elections. People didn't vote for them. They ended up with 100. Of course, Rahul Gandhi today got up in Parliament and said, we won the election in 2024. That's what he said. We won it, by the way. Anyhow, viewers, that's a completely different story. Let's move on because, viewers, I am going to now report to you something that is going to shock you. Vitriolic attacks on the sanctity of the Kumbh are continuing at an alarming rate, blotting the sacred festival of Hindu piety. The latest and most unsubstantiated diatribe against the Kumbh and its organizers has been launched by Samajwadi Party Member of Parliament Jaya Bachchan a few days after the Samajwadi Party Supremo Akhilesh Yadav himself targeted the Kumbh. Now Jaya Bachchan comes out and says, quote, "Where is the water most contaminated right now? It is in Kumbh. Bodies," and there's a reference of those who died in the stampede, "have been thrown in the river because of which the water has been contaminated. The real issues are not being addressed. The common people visiting Kumbh are not receiving any special treatment and there is no arrangement for them. They are lying that crores of people have visited the place. How can such a large number of people gather in that place at any given point?" Unquote, question mark. Because this is her verbatim question and I'll just play out her soundbite. Listen.
सबसे ज़्यादा कंटामिनेटेड वाटर इस वक्त कहाँ है? कुंभ में है. उसके लिए कोई सफाई नहीं दे रहे. बॉडीज जो पानी में डाल दी गई हैं, उससे पानी कंटामिनेटेड हुआ है. यही पानी जो है लोगों तक पहुँच रहा है वहाँ. इसके ऊपर कोई सफाई नहीं दे रहे हैं और पूरा आई वॉश किया जा रहा है. जो गरीब लोग, जो आम आदमी हैं, उनके लिए कोई सपोर्ट नहीं है, कोई अरेंजमेंट नहीं है और झूठ बोल रहे हैं. 8 कितने करोड़ बोल रहे हैं? इतने करोड़ लोग वहां आएंगे कैसे?
Akhilesh Yadav, MP and Samajwadi Party Supremo said, and I quote, "The UP government and the Chief Minister have failed morally and politically as well. The government is hiding the death numbers so that they don't have to provide compensation. The government just wants to divert public attention. There is no conspiracy. It is a government's failure. Even saints are saying that Yogi Adityanath is a liar," unquote. Now, despite the repeated attempts at whipping up apprehensions among devotees on the callousness, the alleged callousness of the administration, of the Yogi administration, and the possibility of harm coming to devotees, there has been no drop in either enthusiasm for the Kumbh, appreciation for the efforts that have gone into organizing it, whether it is from international celebrities or others, or even, viewers, most importantly, in the Snan turnout. Now, if people thought that this was a mosh pit, where if they would land up, they would be killed, because the organization is so bad, the administration is so out of its depth, they won't be coming, viewers, in these numbers. January 13th, 2025, at the Posh Purnima Snan, opening day, 1.65 crore. January 14th, the next day, Makkar Sakranti Snan, 3.5 crores. Viewers, between those 2 days alone, 80% of the entire population of Britain had come and done a Snan. That's the equivalent, viewers. We're talking about those numbers, that size. January 29, 2025, Mauni Amavasya Day, Snan Day, 7.6 crores. Viewers, that is 3 European countries. As of February 3, over 34 crore devotees have participated in the sacred bathing ritual since the commencement of the Maha Kumbh Mela. That is almost, viewers, 80% of the entire population of United States. This surge indicates that the criticism targeted at Yogi for his alleged inability to provide a gratifying experience is misplaced. And it raises several questions, and I want to open this up, viewers. Let's have an honest conversation and let's ask some honest, straight, hard-hitting questions. And I want to begin with the Samajwadi Party Ms. Sumaiya Rana, thank you very much for appearing on our show this evening. I want to ask you, ma'am, first of all, can you identify with names and can you give proof to tell us how many bodies were thrown into the Kumbh, as Jaya Bachchan has claimed? Can you give me the number?
Yeah, before starting the debate, I would like to pray and hope that every devotee should return their home safely. सबसे पहली बात तो ये, दूसरी चीज ये कि जो डेटा आपको गवर्नमेंट से मांगना चाहिए था, वो डेटा आप हमसे मांग रहे हैं कि उन लोगों के नाम दें।
नहीं, आप बता रही हैं
उसमें हताहत हुए।
जया बच्चन जी ने बोला है।
मैं उस पर ही आ रही हूँ। जया बच्चन जी ने जो उनका बयान है, उसके पीछे का तर्क आप समझ सकते हैं। कोविड में 2020 में
आप आज की बात कीजिए मैम,
यमुना के
you
किनारे,
please talk, no,
यमुना के किनारे,
one second, you please speak about today. No, hang on. You speak about today.
I'm just talking about the modus operandi of the government.
Modus operandi, on what basis are you making these claims? Hang on, just a minute. Today, I want to talk about today. Miss Bachchan has come out and said that bodies have been thrown back into the river, into the Sangam. I want to ask you, madam, how many bodies?
मैं बोलूं आपसे, अब आप प्लीज खामोश रहिए, प्लीज लेट मी। जो वहां के लोग हैं जिनसे कांटेक्ट हुआ, उन्होंने बताया जो आंकड़े गवर्नमेंट बता रही है उससे कहीं ज्यादा लोग हैं। 1200 से 1400 तो मिसिंग हैं। पहले तो उनके बारे में गवर्नमेंट जवाब दे कि वो कहाँ हैं, क्योंकि आप उनको मिसिंग में, आपने अभी पता नहीं कितने हताहतों को मिसिंग में डाल दिया।
Okay, Miss Rana, 1 minute. Miss Rana, one second. Hold your thoughts. I want to bring out a point, viewers, and I want to bring in Iyer Mitra ji. 1 second. Mr. Mitra, I heard a large number of sound bites from a large number of pilgrims who were there, who said that people with red flags came and they created the conditions for a mass stampede. Now, am I supposed to believe those and then ask the government to come out and arrest all those people? And if they don't arrest those people, should I say that the government is conspiring with these red flag bearers, the anarchists, so-called anarchists, into killing the devotees there? Now, there can be a conspiracy theory thrown up anytime.
So, here's the problem. I think what the Samajwadi Party doesn't seem to understand, neither this lady Jaya and the representative here, is when you make an allegation, you provide the proof. The lawyer on the panel can back this up. This is how India works. You can't come up, throw any allegation and say, then you have to provide proof. This is like me saying Rahul Shivshankar is actually a Martian who's come to invade Earth and take us over, and then demand on this program that you provide proof that you take off your mask and show us your ET face. This is not the way things work. Now, Miss Bachchan, I'm surprised for her seniority in parliament to go around making statements like this. I don't know what has happened. I suspect Mr. Yadav has told her she's not getting a renewal of her term because she's not known to make remarks like this. But I suspect she's been asked to, sing for her Rajya Sabha seat, as the case may be.
Ms. Rana, let me ask you a question. And we have a lawyer on this panel. If you believe that the government has buried people without accounting for them, why don't you approach the Supreme Court immediately, file an FIR and approach the Supreme Court?
हम लोग देख रहे हैं गवर्नमेंट का जो अप्रोच है, हम लोग देख रहे हैं, और उसके बाद भी वो लोग जो पीड़ित हैं, जिनकी
क्यों आप वेट क्यों कर रहे हैं? Why don't you go to the Supreme Court? Every day wasted is evidence delayed, evidence collection delayed.
मैं आपसे बता रही हूँ, एक बार ये तथ्य फाइनली पूरा सामने आने दीजिए कि गवर्नमेंट क्या कह रही है, गवर्नमेंट ने फाइनली क्या रखा है सामने, और उसके बाद यही होगा। और खाली समाजवादी पार्टी क्या, वहां पे मौजूद श्रद्धालु जिनके इन्होंने आंकड़े छुपाए हैं, वो खुद कोर्ट जाएंगे, उनके घर वाले।
Okay, viewers, you heard this. You heard this. It has been now already more than a week since the stampede. Don't think by now, viewers, whether it is social media or on YouTube or through a large number of people, including the Samajwadi Party, you would have had somebody coming and going to the Supreme Court and saying, look, our relative is untraceable. the person's body was thrown back into the river, can we have an investigation? There is already a judicial probe that has been ordered, viewers, by the Yogi government. No government that wants to cover up would order a judicial probe. Let me tell you that also, because the report has to be tabled not just in court but also in the House. Now, Mr. Ishkan Bhandari, what do you make of Ms. Rana's response ki, nahi, wo hoga, we don't want to go, let's see what happens, let's find out if people will come, etc., etc. How do you respond to this?
Before I respond to her, I would want to respond to Ms. Jaya Bachchan's comments. Without mincing words, I can only say that the tolerance of Hindus is daily tested to this utmost limit, and it is well to heed those old sayings of beware of the fury of patient people. I hope Hindus remain patient, because can you imagine, instead of Kumbh, any other holy place, these words were used for its premises or water or area around it? The free speech across the world would have been dead if you spread this about any other religious event. Now coming to this specific case, it's not a new thing. You see the entire ecosystem. Holi was linked with how Holi can lead to molestation of people, how Diwali is causing pollution. Today in January there is no Diwali, and yet the AQI in Delhi, where you and I live, is 400, 500. How Rakhi is patriarchal, how Karwa Chauth is regressive, how Jallikattu is animal cruelty, how Mahashivratri is wastage of milk, how when an ecosystem tweets on a Hindu religious festival, there is a lecture embedded, but if they tweet on any other religion, it is only praise and joy to be spread. So all that is documented. Now coming to the specifics of the case, forget this. In the world of social media and camera, you cannot hide death. Secondly, there is a 25 lakh compensation being given to anybody who has died by the government. So anybody,
Rahul,
just for the economic logic, you may have excess numbers coming out so that we get compensation which the government may have to test, because that's the reality of compensation. And here are people saying 1,000 people have died. If they have, it's a tragedy, and I've spoken about it many times. It needs to be investigated. But 25 lakh rupees, you think people will not come forward with proof to say how many have died?
Okay, Dr. Raman.
Rahul, yeah, 2 points I want to make. One is, why did it have to take nearly 17 hours to actually put out the news as to how many people died? The second is, there are so many reports circulating on social media of the death toll actually having been much higher. So this is not just something that people are cooking up or making up. There are videos there where, a significant number of bodies have been there. And let's face it, look, this has not appeared to be a very transparent process of either verification of the bodies. In fact, even today, there was a video about still some people are missing. So what steps has the government taken?
So I want to ask you.
No,
okay.
my point.
No, 1 second. We are not going by, I hope, sir, that we are not reducing this entire, and I want to bring in Mr. Mitra to a WhatsApp university debate. WhatsApp pe chal raha hai, so it must be true. No, I hope not. I hope not, because I see a greater pattern, and I think the pattern has been elaborated by Ishkan Bhandari. Now I want to ask you, Doctor, listen to me. Doctor, listen to me. If there are people missing, what is stopping Dr. Raman and evolved citizens like him moving the Supreme Court, asking for details, asking for an inquiry, asking for a court-monitored probe, asking for a FIR?
They will have to try to have faith.
No, why not they? Why can't you do it?
Only, why should we do it?
Why should we do it?
Responsibility of the government.
Judicial Commission has been, Mr. Iyer Mitra, Judicial Commission has been appointed. Yes, 1 second. Mr. Iyer Mitra, quick response to Dr. Raman saying there are videos floating around social media, WhatsApp University, etc., and they are true.
Not WhatsApp University, not WhatsApp University.
It's the same thing in social media, sir.
Journalists who have put
So
their names
Rahul,
up.
let me produce a video.
Yeah.
You know, my twin brother, who I haven't known since birth, he has also gone missing. He told me in my dream that he had gone to the Kumbh Mela, and he has also gone missing. Can you please file an FIR based on this? Why don't we do that? You know, the one thing that is coming through on this panel, be it the SP spokesperson or Mr. Sumat Raman, is that there is absolutely no knowledge of any kind of evidentiary procedure out here.
So,
what qualifies for an FIR, what does not, what is
so let me
reporting,
ask you.
what is not, anyone, anything, whatever they get off the internet.
No, Dr. Raman, by that, no, hang on. There are some very credible journalists who have also captured footage of people saying that people came with red flags and they actually instigated this stampede. So you tell me, should we believe that?
Reason to take action.
Oh, all the
Please.
more reason. Now,
Please,
viewers,
Mr.
listen to
Flag.
this. The
Take
Supreme
action
Court,
against them.
that is, no, hang on. The Supreme Court today
Take
refused,
action
listen to me,
against whoever
and I
came
want
to
to bring in
the
Mr.
flag.
Bhandari on this point. The Supreme Court has refused to entertain a PIL seeking action against Uttar Pradesh state officials for the stampede, negligence. They said, go to the High Court, go to some other court, don't come to us. It's an unfortunate incident, something which is of concern, but go to the High Court concern. There is already a judicial commission constituted, a judicial commission, viewers. No less. Ishkan Bhandari, I cannot understand. You have Akhilesh Yadav, very powerful man. Today brought parliament to a standstill over this issue. But he can't approach the courts. He can't go to a police station in his own native Uttar Pradesh and file an FIR.
It will happen
Rahul,
eventually.
because
Oh, it'll
if
happen
you are looking
eventually.
to, Rahul, it's a question
Till
to
enough
be can
slander and enough, as Ishkaran Bhandari said, innuendo is used to entirely obfuscate the
You
matter
have to give the government
for
time
political.
to respond.
Oh, you have to give the government right.
can
No
I-
one is giving them the right to
Rahul,
respond because there is no proof on which they have to
Rahul,
respond.
can
Yes,
you
Ishkan
respond?
Bhandari, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Rahul, I thought we had moved past those days when in Delhi elections people used to sit with bundles of paper and saying, I have proof without ever going to court. And in fact, having to apologize in various defamation cases. See, the reality is this. If you have proof, you go to court because that stamps the proof. Then the party in power cannot say that, no, this is mere rumor mongering because the court will test it. But when you do not have proof, then all you can rely is on rumor mongering. This journalist said that YouTuber said that WhatsApp group said that, because you have no proof. There are two people with two groups who have cause to bring out proof. One is the entire opposition with its various political parties. Why no proof has been brought out? The second, as I said, 25 lakh rupees compensation is being given. So why would people not come forward and say this person has died or that person has died? But none of that has happened, and two separate groups have right to come forward, but they are not. That is the reality because they have zero proof.
Sumaya Rana, respond please to Ishkan Bhandari and Mr. Ayyar Mitra tonight.
I just want to say something
Yes.
that every action must be taken from the opposition. Then what will be government do? मतलब कोर्ट में हम जाएं, FIR भी हम करें. गवर्नमेंट की
तो
कोई
सरकार ने तो बता दिया है, the government has put out the details. It's you people who have a problem with the details.
एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की उस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का जो फेलियर था, गवर्नमेंट को उस पर कोई पछतावा है?
Okay.
या गवर्नमेंट ये कहती रहेगी
So
कि
let
red
us
flag
let us play our politics. We will be loyal to our politics, not to the so-called victims. We will abandon the victims, but we will keep playing our politics. People like Jaya Bachchan will irresponsibly come out and make all sorts of statements.
And government is very responsible.
Okay.
She
Now
is
let me bring in Mr.
responsible and
Mitra on this
government is
point.
very responsible.
Political point. Ishkan Bhandari and Mr. Mitra will respond one after the other. Yes, Mr. Mitra. Quick response to Ms. Sumaya.
I don't even know how to respond. What do you mean the government? The government has already taken the action it has to. It's
What
ordered
action
the inquiry,
government
which
has
is what
taken?
you do.
Okay.
It has ordered the compensation, which is what you do. Now, what are they going to do? They're going to set up detective teams to find out who all died and to get their next of kin around. Is it?
Ishkan Bhandari, quick one. I need to move on. Yes.
Rahul, mostly one needs to speak on law. Today I need to speak on common sense. If you do not agree with the administrative decision or a government decision, it is incumbent on you to challenge it. That's the law of the land, and that's also the common sense.
Yeah. Well, viewers, common sense has been absolutely shunted out because political sense
Of the
has to
government.
dominate.
Common
Political
sense of the
sense
government.
has to dominate tonight, viewers, and that's it for them. Shoot, scoot, that's it. Let's move on. The India bloc incessantly, viewers, talks about vote manipulation. So much so that the Congress has decided to set up a monitoring group called the Eagle to keep an eye on the election commission. But all India bloc parties are silent on a JU report that talks about voter manipulation. The report, exclusively accessed by CNN-News18, found that political parties and their associates facilitate voter registration for migrants. The report states that, and I quote, the creation of fake identification documents undermines legal systems and electoral processes, unquote. The findings are startling and you see them on your screens. Illegal immigration has altered Delhi's demographic landscape. Migrants settle in overcrowded areas and disrupt social cohesion. Unauthorized settlements have led to the proliferation of slums. Healthcare system faces challenges due to the influx of migrants who snatch appointments from doctors, etc., etc., and sessions from those who are truly deserving and citizens of this country. Migrants engaged in economic activities hurting native population because they are taking their jobs. Migrants rely on border agents, religious preachers for housing in the capital. Illegal migrants are linked to smuggling, forgery and human trafficking, thereby, viewers, denting the law and order and peaceability of the city. Notable increase in Muslim population due to migration from Bangladesh. Tensions between migrants and locals over cultural issues have led to protests and clashes, upsetting the cohesion of society and the balance in society. And viewers, the police have corroborated the findings, listing in detail how many fake IDs have been created to legalize these illegal infiltrators. It is obvious that these legalized aliens will now return the favor by voting their benefactors, distorting even the outcome of the election. But no one is talking about that. They're talking about the election commission, not about voter manipulation. They're talking about vote manipulation, which doesn't exist, viewers, because they're also winning those elections. But not about voter manipulation. Why? Let's open this up. Let's go straight across to Mr. Srivastava and Shazia Ilmi, who are going to face off. Mr. Ayyar Mitra is also there. Very quickly, Shazia Ilmi, I want to ask you and also Mr. Srivastava, what, Mr. Srivastava, is the issue here? There is voter manipulation going on. Political parties of a particular persuasion are giving fake IDs. How come no one is talking about it? It's taken a big report to bring out this truth. Appeasement is all that matters.
Are you questioning me?
Yes, sir, I'm asking you a question.
Yeah.
I'm not questioning you.
No, you can question. So first thing is that how did these people come over here in Delhi? Did they come by a drone from Bangladesh or Myanmar? Which borders they crossed? How did they travel? They came from West Bengal, they came from Assam, they came from Jharkhand. Which state they came through?
But does that mean that we process them? Or should we hand them over to the authorities? Should we bring them in, give them homes, give them, give them ID cards, give them citizenship, give them everything? They need to be parasites really on this country. Should we do that?
Rahul, in Mumbai, let me tell you, there was a concerted drive by the police for catching up all those Bangladeshis and people, Rohingyas coming from outside.
Shazia
How many they found?
The government is in charge of borders. Don't blame everybody else. We will give IDs. No problems. We'll give the IDs. Yes. If they come, we'll give them IDs. And then we'll ask them, ki kagaz mat dikhana. But you have to control the people at the border. That's your responsibility. Shazia Ilmi, are you failing Delhi? Yes. Are you failing India?
This is the job of the BSF. This is the job of the government.
Right.
Who manage
So we
the
all
border.
know, who benefits.
Security force.
So we all know who. Okay, Vivek ji, you're repeating yourself. You're repeating yourself.
Yeah.
You said this about 3-4 times. So yeah, you said it about 5 times now. So let me tell you, Vivek ji, that this has been happening for a long time, and we all know who benefits from this kind of politics. You know, and I know that and you also know
Shazia
that
Ilmi, people will say stop them at the border. Stop them at the border because there are enough buck passes here. You've heard the buck passes.
Of course.
So.
Yes, and you've heard how Himanta Biswa Sarma, our CM from Assam, speaks about it, and you know how Mamata Banerjee speaks about it.
Oh, okay. So you're saying, let me bring in Ayyar Mitra. Mr. Ayyar Mitra, if the Chief Minister of Assam says,
India is for Indians.
Okay, fine.
India is for Indians.
India is for Indians, Indians first, etc. But I want to ask you, Ayyar Mitra, if the Chief Minister of Assam says, look, I have to set up detention centers at the border, etc., to house these people. Trump is setting up Guantanamo for some of these individuals. Here, if anyone talks about that, they say, look, there are concentration camps that are being set up.
But this is natural. You see, why are these people coming in? They are coming in because of all the smoke and shadows that have been playing out with so-called Bangladesh's economy. You're seeing the Bangladesh economy in free fall. There was a writer called Shoaib Daniel at Scroll who wrote, why would Bangladeshis want to come in? The standard of living in Bangladesh is so much higher, they don't want to come in. Then when you do CA and RC, they oppose it. Now, these people, if this JNU report is right, they are coming in to do all the low-paid jobs. Do you understand how much that harms the economy? These people are trying to steal the language of, American illegal migrants, that they come and help the economy. They do not help the economy. When you have a labor shortage, what happens is the economy self-corrects and it goes into higher, more skilled forms of construction and labor and things like that. So by getting these people in, they are actually hindering the economy by keeping the entire standards and payments and everything low. So it is and what does this lead to? Precisely because of that, it leads to ghettoization, it leads to vote banks, and you all know where that ghettoization and vote banks go to. It only goes to a select set of parties who, cater to a certain cabal of muezzins and mullahs.
Exactly, that's the
Vested
point I was
interests.
making.
So viewers, remember, your vote is also being diluted in the union capital because there are enough to counter your choice. And that is an assault on democracy, which no one is talking about, viewers, because it serves their interests to keep quiet about it. I leave it at this, viewers. Coming up in just a few moments, The Vantage with Palki Sharma. Stay with us.
Presented by
सदस्यगण, बजट के बाद राज्यपाल अभिभाषण में आपको पर्याप्त अवसर दूंगा। मेरा आपसे निवेदन है, नहीं माननीय अखिलेश जी, आपने संसद की मर्यादा को आप बना के रखे हैं। कभी बजट भाषण के अंदर इस तरीके का नहीं हुआ, ये उचित नहीं है, ये उचित नहीं है। अखिलेश जी प्लीज, मैं आपको मौका दूंगा राज्यपाल अभिभाषण पे, प्लीज। नो, ये तरीका ठीक नहीं है। नो, राज्यपाल अभिभाषण पे चर्चा होगी। नो तरीका।
Honorable Speaker, I present the budget for 25-26. This budget continues our government's efforts to A. Accelerate growth, B. Secure inclusive development, C. Invigorate private sector investments, D. Uplift household sentiments, and E. Enhance spending power of India's rising middle class. Together, we embark on a journey to unlock our nation's tremendous potential for greater prosperity and global positioning under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. As we complete the first quarter of the 21st century, continuing geopolitical headwinds suggest lower global economic growth over the medium term. However, our aspiration for a Vikasit Bharat inspires us, and the transformative work we have done during our government's first 2 terms guides us to march forward resolutely. Our economy is the fastest growing among all major economies. Our development track record for the past 10 years and structural reforms have drawn global attention. Confidence in India's capability and potential has only grown in this period. We see the next 5 years as a unique opportunity to realize Sabka Vikas, stimulating balanced growth of all regions. The great Telugu poet and playwright Gurujada Apparao had said, Deshamante matti kadoy, Deshamante manushuloy, meaning a country is not just its soil, a country is its people. In line with this, for us, Vikasit Bharat encompasses zero poverty, 100% quality good school education, access to high quality, affordable and comprehensive health care, 100% skilled labor with meaningful employment, 70% women in economic activities, and farmers, making our country the food basket of the world. In this budget, the proposed development measures span 10 broad areas, focusing on Garib, Youth, Annadata and Nari, spurring agricultural growth and productivity, building rural prosperity and resilience, taking everyone together on an inclusive growth path, boosting manufacturing and furthering Make in India, supporting MSMEs, enabling employment-led development, investing in people, economy and innovation, securing energy supplies, promoting exports and nurturing innovation. For this journey of development, our four powerful engines are agriculture, MSME, investments and exports. The fuel, our reforms, our guiding spirit, inclusivity, and the destination, Vikasit Bharat. This budget aims to initiate transformative reform.
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma.